beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to dive into a topic that's actually a little controversial but also very important here in the Philippines, which is why there are so many Filipinos, especially Filipino women, actually are very scared to take birth control. So if you guys are interested to that, please do consider subscribing to my channel and click the notification bell for more videos update. Okay, so guys, if you grew up in the Philippines like me, then you probably have heard some crazy things about birth control. Like there are some people actually said that it's a sin and you're gonna be a sinner, and then others also believe that it's gonna make you sick or even infertile. And also, let's be honest though, there are also some people, keep saying that only bad girls only use birth control or promiscuous girl only use birth control. But guys, how much of this is actually true? Okay, so before we get into the fears of why there's so many Filipinas are scared to use birth controls in the Philippines, let's look at first of why birth control is such a very sensitive topic here in the Philippines. Well, first and foremost, one of the reasons why is because of religious countries. We are one of the religious countries in the world. Like about 80% of Filipinos are Catholic. And the Catholic Church has always been strongly against to artificial contraception because for them, it's very unnatural, it's only for sinners, and it goes against God's plan. And the second reason as well is because for a long time, the government made birth control hard to access. It wasn't until recently that the family planning program actually became more widely available here in the Philippines, but still, there are still a lot of resistance to that. So basically, because of religion, tradition, and past policies before, that's the reason why there are so many Filipinos just are not comfortable with the idea of using the birth control. So now let's talk about also the common fears and misconceptions about using birth control here in the Philippines. Well, first is again, it's a sin, which is the religious fear. So this is actually very true because one of the biggest reasons that Filipinos fear in using birth control is because they think it's a sin, and some Filipinos think they are scared to do that because they don't want to be a sinner. Because here in the Philippines, the Catholic Church actually teaches us that using artificial contraception is wrong because it prevents the natural creation of life. And instead, they only promote the natural family planning, which, let's be honest, isn't always effective. So, well, whether you agree or not, it's important for you guys to also know that not all Christians or Catholics believe this, because there are so many religious Filipinos actually support family planning, especially when it helps avoid unwanted pregnancies and also financial struggles, and to avoid early pregnancies as well, or teenage pregnancies. And the second fear or misconception here in the Philippines, if you're going to take a birth control, is that it will make you sick, which what we call the health fear. Well, some people actually said as well that, hey, do not ever take birth control pills because they will make you have a cancer, or they will make you sick, or they will make you fail. And this is one of the common myths actually. But I've also done some research, guys, and in reality, there is actually no scientific evidence that birth control causes infertility. In fact, once you actually stop taking it, your fertility goes back to normal again. Okay, so the other misconception as well about this is it's very not natural. Okay, like the misinformation and the lack of education here in the Philippines about birth controls, the sex education, and all those kind of stuff is actually something that's really not a big deal here in the Philippines, because a lot of people in the Philippines simply do not have the right information about using birth controls, the sex education, because it's not really taught in school. And many people actually learn it only from friends or family, from social medias, instead of doctors and the teachers from school. And unfortunately, this lack of education leads to a lot of fear, a lot of unwanted pregnancies, a lot of teenage pregnancies, and guys, imagine if we only had open, honest discussions about family planning in schools, then I guess so many people will actually feel more comfortable making informed choices in their lives. And maybe they could have avoided age pregnancies or unwanted pregnancies. Okay, so the next one as well is people will think that you are a promiscuous person if you are using birth control pill, the fear of judgment. Well, this is actually very true because there's a stigma around birth control here in the Philippines, and there's actually some things happen here in the Philippines wherein if a woman buys pills at the pharmacy, then people might assume that she's very wild, she's easy to get, or she's been with a guy, or she's been with multiple guys, and then why, she's still young, why she's having sex already, why she's using birth controls already. And you will be getting so many judgy looks and stares from people around you, especially if you are a younger girl that wants, that you go to what I call this pharmacy and buy the birth control pills. And because they don't want to be judged by these people, then instead of getting one from the pharmacy, they will just not buy one and they will just do unwanted sex with their boyfriend or with whoever guy that they're sleeping with. Okay, so the last but not the least, one of the reasons of why there are so many Filipino women are scared to take birth controls is because it has too many side effects. Okay, that's very true. And again, I also personally experienced this one. And some Filipinas actually avoid birth control because they're just simply scared of the side effects like weight gain, mood swings, headaches, or stomach cramps or anything like that. So yes, it's just so true, guys. And even my friends before, I've heard some of them that they stopped doing or taking birth control pills because they couldn't handle having headaches and they're not feeling themselves anymore because they are feeling upset, they're having upset stomach, they're always angry, they're always annoyed, they're pissed, their mood swings. That's pretty much the reasons of why most of Filipinos are scared to take birth control is because all of those reasons that I actually mentioned earlier, guys. And I just really hope that you would also understand why some Filipinos do not fake birth control if you happen to date one right now. But again, if you're older than her, then you have to, teach her about that because so yes, that's it everyone. And if you guys like my content, again, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and click the notification bell for more videos update. See you guys to my next video. Bye!